Hi, it's Tim from Total Lockout. Two things I want to talk about today. One is lockout tagout training, and the other is business networking. I'm not sure I'm going to fit these both in the same recording. Conscious that if I ramble on too long, then I might lose my audience. Not that there's a massive audience here anyway, but those of you who are watching, thank you very much. Lockout tagout training. It's a service that we offer for customers looking to implement safe isolation practices and procedures in their business. I developed this basic awareness concept course some years ago, and over the years I've delivered it to a few businesses. I've done it to a number of safety groups, and what I've seen with training in the past, particularly health and safety training, is that the message has the greatest impact when you shock people, and that's quite sad. That's quite tragic, really. But safety training can be quite shocking. And I remember when I started on this life journey, my adult professional working career, I did a 4-year engineering apprenticeship starting at age 16. And I remember so clearly that first week at work was wall-to-wall safety training. I was going into an apprenticeship that involved some hazardous activities, some hazardous applications, turning, lathe turning, milling, welding, fabrication, some electrical engineering work. And as I say, I had a whole week's worth of training, and the reason it stayed with me is because although I can't remember the specifics of the individual videos and what have you that we were watching, there was 2 or 3 occasions when I nearly passed out watching some of these shocking videos, and so you don't want to shock people, but it's important to deliver the message in such a way that people identify the message you're trying to give with their own work, and also the potential hazards that they can encounter. I was doing my lockout tagout basic awareness presentation some years ago to a safety group, and there was another gentleman talking before me on the subject of working at height, and that of course has its own requirements, applications, issues, needs. And one of the points he made that stuck with me was that you rarely hear about injuries and accidents when people are working at very, very great heights, scaling the side of buildings, doing any nature of work where the consequences of failure, of falling, are almost certainly death. You rarely hear about accidents in that environment. Conversely, you often hear about people falling off a chair when they've stepped up to change a light bulb, for example. And the reason for that is perceived risk, your ability to identify risk and danger. And when you do identify risk and danger, you take the necessary measures to mitigate that danger. Where lockout tagout's concerned, there are a number of videos on YouTube which depict either reconstruction or actual accidents and incidents. There's a couple of advocates, safety advocates, who tell their story of either fatal accident or near miss, where the life-changing events, and they're so compelling, and they're a great way to deliver the message, particularly where lockout tagout's concerned and the consequences of when things go wrong. Now, just quickly now moving on to the other point I was going to talk about. As you can tell, this isn't scripted. in any way. These are just ideas that are buzzing around in my head that I think that some people might be able to, that it might resonate with, might connect with. On the matter of business networking, when I started this company 13, 14 years ago, I mentioned in a previous video that I'd had a spell in sales management, and suddenly now I'm running my own business, and it became aware to me that the business was invisible unless you were on the phone, ringing people up, pinging out an email, putting a brochure in the post, knocking on someone's door. You were invisible. And I'd lost my connections with my customers because I was running a sales team. And so what I did was to try and to resurrect those connections was I set about business networking. And initially it was little local business groups, and I found that no one in those groups had any interest in what I was doing, but I always came away either having agreed to buy a printer or sign up to an IT support service or something of that ilk. And then I connected with a local occupational safety group. And that was useful. And in fact, off the back of networking in those safety groups, I found that I actually got invited to talk, and I did my my Lockout Tagout presentation. In fact, that led to 2 significant bits of business. I still remember the people who engaged with us at that point. They don't realise the significance it had for us at the time. But in the very early stages of business, of the company, winning that business from those organisations as a result of giving my my Lockout Tagout talk, was a great moment. Now, I've gone through a period, not least through the coronavirus pandemic, when the ability to get out and network was basically switched off, and I tried to resurrect that recently, and I've just come from an event run by Essex Chambers of Commerce, which was interesting, and I sometimes question the value of going to these things. And did I come away with a potential business opportunity? No, not at all. Did I come away with some things that were thought provoking that I'm going to take with me back to my place of work and do something with? Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So there's always some value to be had to get out and talk with other people about their own journey, their own life experiences, their own business experiences. So yeah, heartily advocate for anyone in any walk of business to do business networking. It can be a little bit daunting to start with. You just need to have the confidence to turn up and talk to people. Start off with small talk, and it soon leads to something that's of mutual interest and benefit. So that's it for this little video. Thanks again for watching. I've just pulled up on the side of the road because I want to get these thoughts out. I'm pulled up in an area not far from our place of work in Braintree in Essex, where there's plans afoot to build a new stretch of road that runs from the A120 at Braintree to cut a swathe through the fields and join up with the A12 between Witham and Kelvedon and either further north Colchester. And this project's been on the radar for several years now, and I kind of lost interest in it. But I've just come on this journey, this cut through that I use. I've noticed there's a big activity of earth moving going on just south of the town of Kelvedon, and in fact, as you come along getting towards Braintree, I've noticed on the skyline some massive cranes in place. So I'm curious to know what's going on there, because who knows, big infrastructure project, big civil engineering project of that ilk, right on our doorstep. Who knows what opportunities that might bring. So I'll leave it there. Thanks again, as always, for watching, and tune in again soon. Bye for now.